what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 157 show, where this show is mainly just casual fans watching ball games, giving some terrible insight. I feel like.
Whoa, no, not terrible.
Okay, well, not terrible. We'll
Not
go
terrible.
with that.
Maybe some hot takes that are questionable.
Questionable
but
takes
not
that,
terrible.
just as fans, we try to give you just regular fan
We want
experience.
to connect with the fans
Yeah,
who just watch the games, have a good time, and just kind of want to learn more,
Exactly.
but not be overwhelmed by these analytics.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't give all the really in-depth stuff.
Nope.
But we do try and give you some stats here and there.
We keep the takes hot like the kitchen. Or something like that. I don't know. I was going to say hot
that
wings.
was terrible. But anyway,
like Auburn played last week.
Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, drop a comment. Let us know what you guys are thinking. So we'll start out. I'll tell you what. Let's start out with Auburn, because last episode, we started out with Alabama.
Yep.
So Auburn playing South Carolina Gamecocks.
Auburn, the choke victim. So I still got this on, but go ahead and talk. I'm going to go ahead and remove this.
Oh, God.
Because we're shedding that from our past.
Okay. All right. So Auburn's playing South Carolina, which is on like their 5th or 6th quarterback.
False.
Like,
Fourth.
excuse me, 4th. They've been down the trail now. But they do have, I think a somewhat decent offense. It looks like at times. The Florida game, they pretty much just routed Florida like it was nothing.
People want to reference that game.
It was kind of a big win.
It was a big win, but think about when it occurred.
No, yeah.
It occurred on a deflated Florida team that is no longer kind of connected to Dan Mullins. Don't think he'll be there much longer, but we'll talk more about that.
We'll talk about that later.
That's
at the
one
end
of
of
those
this
hot takes,
video, because
folks.
I want to talk about this for a second at the end of this video.
Yeah. So let's ignore the Florida win. I got to reference the sheet here. South Carolina beat East Carolina by 3 points. Beat Troy by 9 points. Beat Vanderbilt by 1 point. They lost to Missouri by 3. So if you remove that Florida spanking, which was like 41-17 or something like that, if you remove that, the outlier is that they just play everyone close or lose games.
And I feel like this is just what I've heard through in the past year, but I feel like they are kind of a depleted ball team. And when Muschamp left, or I guess he didn't leave, he got fired. When he left. When he got fired, he kind of left the cupboard dry, if you will. There's not very much talent on that team, and I think Beamer's trying to do what he can
with what he's got. So and you talked about that. South Carolina has had a carousel at quarterback, including I'm pretty sure a grad assistant. We talked about this earlier.
One even from South Carolina.
Yeah, a grad assistant at South Carolina just dons the jersey. He's like, well, I gotta go play. I think that was a third one.
Yep.
I think they've moved on from him and have a fourth.
I think he got hurt, actually. Don't quote me on anything about South Carolina right now, because
they are the bottom of the list. Yeah. They are like,
they're towards the bottom.
Of course, I said this about Mississippi State. They're at the beginning of the year. So.
Yeah, I just
they're having issues at quarterback.
At times they look really good on offense, and other times it's like.
And then they also have an all right offensive line on their best day.
Yeah.
So I think that's where Auburn is gonna dominate this weekend. I hope that the defensive line steps up and Auburn kind of wins in the trenches, forces these younger quarterbacks or the 5th string quarterback, whatever he is
now,
pass the ball.
I feel like Auburn has the talent to be able to overmatch with South Carolina. South Carolina doesn't have the talent. I think Auburn does have the talent.
And when we talk about Alabama, I'm going to make that same point where I think it could be a close game, but if you look at it through the course of 4 quarters, Alabama's just more talented and has more depth.
Yeah. And the South Carolina with Shane Beamer as being his first year and stuff, he's first time head coach, actually.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, his first time head coaching job, which, for some reason blows my mind that South Carolina wanted to get someone like that after all the terrible things they've had.
All the issues.
I mean, with Muschamp, the way things went with his tenure and everything, I feel like he wanted more of a veteran coach, even if it was just somebody mediocre, just
like a bridge
right
coach.
The ship. Yeah,
just a bridge coach gets you through. Yeah. Oof. So with this game, I'm hoping TJ Finley's going to be starting, and we talked about the Week 11 review. So Bo Nix got hurt, out for the season. It appears he had some kind of ankle surgery. Unfortunate. So TJ Finley is going to be the starter. I hope that he gets good quality reps. Obviously, he's playing the game. He's going to get in there, get some quality reps, kind of get that vibe or that connection with his receivers and with the offensive line and establish that, get ready for the Alabama game.
Hot take, I don't think you're going to see very much offense between either one of these teams, to be quite honest with you. From quarterback play. Let me add that in there.
Yeah.
From the quarterback play, I don't think you're going to see very much. Now, running back, maybe a different story. But that's just that is my hot take on this.
I want Auburn to get establish the run game. I mean, I'm just so disappointed in that regard. Not so disappointed. I'm not like trashing.
Tank is having
an all right year
Yeah.
for what he was hyped up for.
Yeah. He was, I think, from what I understand, he was like a Heisman consideration early in the season or beginning of the season, preseason watch list or whatever.
Yeah. So before I shift over to Carlson and his injury, so TJ Finley got his first start last year at LSU versus South Carolina. Yeah. So it's interesting that he has 2 starts, or his first start of each year, in 2 different SEC West schools versus the same team. Yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, a little fun fact for y'all.
Yeah.
Casual fun fact.
Casual.
I like to point at the camera for some reason.
Casual fun fact.
So I connect to everybody.
And I don't know what to really expect. I know I said just a second ago, you don't expect much offense from the quarterback, but I don't really know what to expect because
I expect an ugly game. I'll be honest with you.
I expect the same, but I mean, Finley, every time I've watched him, he has not been comfortable. Like last week,
you can't expect him to be comfortable.
I tell you, I give you a good what I thought here. When I was watching last week, it was hard for me to not compare him to what I seen from when Jeremy Johnson was at quarterback for Auburn. Exactly.
Man.
And it's a hard comparison because like some of the stuff he was doing, I'm like, it was eerily similar. I mean, I'll leave it at that. It was very eerily similar.
He's got the same stature as Jeremy Johnson too. But we'll move on. We'll talk about that comparison after the game.
Okay.
Let's make a
we'll give him one full game and then we'll go from there. Because I mean, yeah. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with y'all, as an Auburn fan, I'm not sure who's gonna be kicking field goals for Auburn this weekend. I really don't even know.
You don't know who the second guy is?
I mean, maybe Chapman. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the punter. I predict Auburn to win. War Eagle. It's gonna be an ugly game. 6:00. Stay strong. Have the bourbon ready. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so in my pick'em, I did pick Auburn to win.
I'm not even sure what the spread is.
Now, I think it's going to be close.
Let me tell you.
Maybe 3-point game.
The Vegas opening lines were Auburn double digits. After the Bonix, that's what we'll call it. Trademark. Bonix, after his injury was revealed and the severity of it, it dropped. Yeah. I know under double digits. It's probably like 7 now.
Can we just like tip our hats to like how Vegas like? To me,
this is a full-time job. Like,
it's wild how you can just sit there and sway these things like that.
That's all it takes.
Because you want to get an equal bet on each side, and
you know that they pump out.
They are not gonna. They're not gonna try and lose intentionally. They're not gonna lose money. Yeah. Just to be honest about stuff. I mean, that's just my feeling. It's Vegas.
Yeah.
Come on.
Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Evidently. So
wait, pause.
Okay.
Did you know that the world's tallest Ferris wheel was in Las Vegas? 550 feet.
I did not know that.
I'm going to go there and ride it.
Oh, God.
You can drink when you're riding it, man.
I don't care. Nope, not doing heights.
All right, let's do it.
So, Alabama.
Arkansas.
Versus Arkansas. I don't know.
KJ Jefferson is a good dual threat.
He is quick.
Dual quick threat quarterback.
Dual threat quarterback, yes.
Which is the kryptonite. Minus field goal kickers of Nick Saban's tenure.
I don't think that's the understood anymore.
I'm not saying it's still
Alabama
true,
has
but
recruited to the point where they can defend that style offense, defend that quarterback.
Once you
got to have
Will Anderson, and you got to establish that edge.
Let me tell you something. Will Anderson,
he's going to feast this weekend.
Let me give you a reference here. All right, so average sacks per game over this season so far, Will Anderson sits at 0.91. Okay. Per game. 0.91 per game. For reference, Chase
Young,
who
just tore his ACL, I do believe.
He did. At Ohio State was at 0.89 per game.
No, he's he's a beast.
And even more, Derek Thomas had a 1.08. So that just shows the gap there, But he's gonna feast.
Literally.
He is going to feast.
I put Will Anderson will have his hands full.
Nah, he's gonna feast.
I think he's gonna get some tackles. He's gonna have to work for them though. He's gonna have to work.
I don't see. Okay, so I don't see. You got to have a quarterback that can throw against Alabama, and I don't think KJ Jefferson can do that. Now, time before we go any farther, I said the same thing, I believe, about Texas A&M. They don't have a quarterback.
To the viewers who are there for that game.
They don't have a quarterback. Now, I was totally wrong on that. This man came out looking like Tom Brady. Now, that being said, I am not worried about KJ Jefferson throwing the ball on Alabama's defense. They're only giving up like 288 yards a game.
I think it's lower than that. I think it's like 252.
No, I actually got it pulled up right here. Yeah, total yards allowed 288.2.
Corrected.
Exactly. I got this. But so Arkansas is giving up 346.9 yards a carry. I'm gonna make sure I get the point.
Which is on
point with Bryce Young's passing roughly.
Yeah.
Now, if we can get the run game going to complement the pass game, I think we'll be okay. Now, the problem is...
How much do you want to run the ball?
We are getting thin in the running back department.
2 running backs, and then I think 2 converted running backs from linebackers. And look at these fingers. Looking like booger.
You're serious. now, here's why I'm excited about this. I have always kind of wanted to see Trey Sanders play more. I've been saying it throughout the season. I think he's going to play more, yada, yada.
He got his chance.
He's going to... I feel like take every bit of this opportunity to be able to do that.
Now, what year is he? And does not count the COVID.
This is third year.
Okay.
First year he got broke his ACL, torn his ACL. He didn't break his ACL. He tore his ACL.
This is the daggum car wreck guy.
Yes, and then
I asked this like every other episode.
Yes,
yeah,
I know. But yeah, he's a junior and I want to see him play more myself.
Well,
I'm not trying to be selfish, but I really want to see him play more.
Do you think he's going to step up in that number 1 role next year?
I hope so, but the way Roy Dale's been playing and the way the other guy was before he got hurt, McClellan, that's his name. I had to think about it for a minute. McClellan, when he got hurt, I could see those guys being 1-2. And if that's the case, I could see Trey Sanders maybe transferring out. He was a big 5-star recruit, so you get kind of beat out like that, and you're the upper dog. You know, you're going into your senior year and you're not even the starter.
Yeah.
You're third string. I could see him transferring out.
All right, so I'm going to shift the focus a little bit here.
All right.
So Arkansas, I'm going to start with them on offense. They're number 2 in the SEC in rushing, and I believe they're number 6. They're definitely top 10 rushing in the FBS. So with that being said, I'm going to segue into Alabama's rushing defense. 84 yards per game rushing. I think you quoted them at how many yards a game passing? Whatever you correct me on.
I don't know. That was total yards.
Oh, total yards.
Total yards 288.
Okay. Maybe that's what I was thinking about the passing yards.
Yeah.
So let's just say 84 yards per game rushing is what Alabama's defense is giving up.
Yep.
Do you think that because Alabama's dominating teams week in and week out, besides the Florida game, which was a 2-point victory, and the Texas A&M loss, like outside of those and the LSU close game, do you believe that they are dominating people so much that that's why the rushing yards are so low because they're having to play catch up? Or do you think that their defense is just that stout in the trenches?
I'll be honest.
That was a long-winded question.
Yeah, it was.
I went around the field there.
After the Florida game, I thought we was going to be in some serious trouble with the run game. But I think that was kind of a focus coming into practice, and I feel like they locked that down a little bit better. And Alabama has played solid defense the last couple weeks, actually. I mean, I kind of harped on them a little bit here and there, but I mean, they're averaging 18.2 points a game, which is, I mean, pretty solid. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not Georgia solid, but it's solid.
It's hard to be Georgia solid this year, folks.
But see, in college football nowadays, you're giving up. You're going to give up points. You're not going to beat teams, except maybe Georgia right now. You're not going to give up, 8 points a game, 9 points a game. Which Georgia, I think, is only like 14 or something, 11, somewhere around that range. But you're not going to beat teams like that anymore very often. And college football, the offense has changed a lot, and it's a lot more up tempo, a lot more scoring. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't. To answer your question, I think they locked down the defense.
I mean, and that's a fair statement. I just really wanted your honest opinion because I think
you gave me a long question, so I gave you like a long roundabout answer.
that's fine. Apologize to the fans, not me. So I just want to ask you and get your honest opinion about it because I was curious. I honestly think that Bryce Young's strong points is passing the ball, and because of that, I think that they are passing the ball more.
Right.
And I'm talking about offense when we were talking about defense, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're going to be able to pass the ball. Again, going back to this, I don't think they're going to be able to pass the ball. I don't think they're going to get some rushing yards just because that's what they do.
Oh, yeah, they rush the ball. KJ Jefferson is the number 2 rusher for that team.
Exactly. And, you're going to see a lot of quarterback runs, a lot of read option, and I just –
so
that's what you're going to see a lot more. And I'm going to say that – I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out there. Alabama will win by 30 points.
Oof. Okay.
Alabama will win by 30 points.
I'll go opposite that. They will not win by 30 points.
Just saying.
I think the spread's 22.5.
If Alabama comes out fired up, and by the way, if they win this game,
they lock it in. They lock in the West.
They lock in the West, which is guaranteed Alabama versus Georgia.
I know. We talked about. We didn't mention this in the last episode. Let's talk about it here. If Ole Miss did their job, Auburn just all they had to do was win.
I mean,
and they would have been in the SEC West running with Alabama.
Did you want to play Georgia again?
I don't want to play Georgia or Alabama at this point. We're down a quarterback, a kicker, and like a few other folks, man.
You getting people in the stands come out here and
heck no.
I mean, it's
so.
I mean, before we even dive into championships and all that stuff, I do want to say like a quick comment about it. Alabama versus Georgia is going to be one hell of a matchup.
It will be one heck of a matchup.
No, it's going to be one hell of a matchup.
It's going to be a hell of a matchup. So,
and that's going to be that. I guarantee you that is going to be the number 1 watch game of the season.
College football.
Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Unless it's a championship game.
If it's a rematch in the championship,
do you think it'll draw more viewers or less viewers? This is a hot take, folks.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think it's the less viewers because people don't want to see it.
Yeah, I can see it again because nobody wants to see
the two.
Yeah, in the lowest, one of the lowest viewerships they had on the since college football playoff was Georgia versus Alabama national championship a couple years ago. So I don't know. I could see.
I just realized that they referenced the 28-3 is real close to 26-2.
Yeah.
See, there you go. You're just watching a random video and you get a 28-3 reference. It's everywhere, folks. It just happens.
It happens.
So, parting note for me on this game, and I'll let you kind of close out and do what you got to do. So, I'm curious to see how Alabama handles this. So, what I'm saying there is you're so thin at the running back position right now. You're down to 2 running backs and you have 2 kind of fill-in guys there. Mm-hmm. So, I think that Bryce Young is going to have to spread the ball around. Not because they've got to, but because they're playing, and I quote here, air quotes, injury prevention.
Bryce Young has been durable. I will say that. I don't think they're going to let up just because of just because of how thin they are.
On the run game.
On the run game. I don't
That's
think
what
they're
I mean. So you think they're just going to keep pounding the ball?
I think so.
I mean,
and this is going to do nothing but next year give these guys quality reps. Even if it happens, because Brian Robinson, he's gone after this year, so which leaves McClellan, Roydell Williams, and Trey Sanders. This right here is going to do nothing but help Trey Sanders in the depth in the quarterback.
Maybe kind of fill out what's going to happen in spring training.
Right. Yeah. There's no doubt. And if you have a 3-headed monster back there, running back, run that joker. No. But I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. I mean, I'm like I said, I think 30 points. I'm going high ground here, way high ground.
I'm taking low. I think Alabama wins.
I mean,
I say 2-3 touchdowns.
I could see that too, honestly.
And Auburn wins by close 6-point margin.
I said 3 earlier, so
it's gonna be a close game, close and ugly.
Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all we got. Appreciate y'all for tuning into this random rants. And stuff that
we got a little bit long-winded, so we apologize.
We did.
So we appreciate y'all listening, giving us some feedback.
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to talk about at the end of this video, and I can't remember what it was now.
Let's just end it there then.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like button, drop a comment below. Let us know what you guys think of the games coming up. And we'll see you next time. Roll Tide.
I got to breathe in for you. War Eagle.
See you guys later.